I felt the need for me to somehow or another use humanity to get people to become aware of how people suffered. That was what drove me into it, to expose something to the public that I felt was being hidden.
Gordon Parks, a trailblazing figure in American photography, filmmaking, and music composition, was born into a challenging world that would shape his multifaceted career. As the youngest of 15 children in Fort Scott, Kansas, Parks faced the harsh realities of racism and segregation from a young age. Yet, within the confines of adversity, he found solace in the love of his parents and the unity of the Black community. The pivotal moment in Parks' life occurred during a self-reflective session with a shaving razor in hand. Confronting himself in the mirror, he grappled with inner demons and the challenges of approaching manhood. The conversations with his own reflection became a lifeline, providing a sense of sanity in an insane world marked by racism, poverty, and despair. These introspective moments fueled his resilience, eventually propelling him towards a remarkable journey of self-discovery. Parks' journey took an unexpected turn when, as a teenager, he faced the sudden loss of his mother. Bereft and uprooted, he moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, only to find himself in a bitter winter without money or a place to stay. Riding trolleys to stave off the cold, he survived by eating a pigeon, a stark testament to his resilience. This period of hardship marked the beginning of a tumultuous journey that would see Parks work various jobs, from dishwasher to musician in a brothel, all while navigating the challenges life threw at him. Fortune smiled on Parks when he secured a job as a waiter on the North Coast Limited, a transcontinental train. His marriage to Sally Alvis and exposure to magazines left behind by passengers ignited a spark in Parks. Inspired by photographers like Dorothea Lange and Arthur Rothstein, he purchased a camera for $7.50, a modest investment that would transform his life. This marked the inception of his photographic career, with Eastman Kodak recognizing his talent and sponsoring his first exhibitions. Park's lens captured the stark realities of the poverty-stricken black community in Chicago's South Side, earning him the Julius Rosenwald Fellowship. He became the first African-American photographer to work for the Farm Security Administration, breaking barriers and defying racial prejudices. Noteworthy among his early works is the iconic photograph of Ella Watson, symbolizing the challenges faced by African Americans in the United States. His career soared as he became the first African American photographer for Life and Vogue magazines, documenting Harlem, the civil rights movement, the Black Panthers, and more. Park's extensive portfolio showcased his insight into the human condition, with powerful portraits of figures like Muhammad Ali. His work extended beyond photography, with achievements in music composition, filmmaking, and literature. Park's accolades include over 24 honorary degrees, awards from prestigious institutions, and inductions into various halls of fame. Despite divorces and personal challenges, his legacy endures. Gordon Parks left behind a rich body of work that transcends the realms of art, activism, and self-discovery. Gordon Parks was born on November 30, 1912, in Fort Scott, Kansas. His father, Jackson Parks, was a vegetable farmer, and the family lived modestly. Parks faced aggressive discrimination as a child. He attended a segregated elementary school and was not allowed to participate in activities at his high school because of his race. The teachers actively discouraged African American students from seeking higher education. After the death of his mother, Sarah, when he was 14, Parks left home. He lived with relatives for a short time before setting off on his own, taking whatever odd jobs he could find. Parks purchased his first camera at the age of 25 after viewing photographs of migrant workers in a magazine. His early fashion photographs caught the attention of Marva Lewis, wife of the boxing champion Joe Louis, who encouraged Parks to move to a larger city. Parks and his wife, Sally, relocated to Chicago in 1940. Parks began to explore subjects beyond portraits and fashion photographs in Chicago. He became interested in the low-income black neighborhoods of Chicago's South Side. In 1941, Parks won a photography fellowship with the Farm Security Administration for his images of the inner city. Parks created some of his most enduring photographs during this fellowship, including American Gothic, Washington, D.C., picturing a member of the FSA cleaning crew in front of an American flag. After the FSA disbanded, Parks continued to take photographs for the Office of War Information and the Standard Oil Photography Project. He also became a freelance photographer for Vogue. Parks worked for Vogue for a number of years, developing a distinctive style that emphasized the look of models and garments in motion, rather than in static poses. Relocating to Harlem, Parks continued to document city images and characters while working in the fashion industry. His 1948 photographic essay on a Harlem gang leader won Parks a position as a staff photographer for Life magazine, the nation's highest circulation photographic publication. Parks held this position for 20 years, producing photographs on subjects including fashion, sports and entertainment as well as poverty and racial segregation. He also took portraits of African American leaders, including Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael and Muhammad Ali. Parks launched a writing career during this period, beginning with his 1962 autobiographical novel, The Learning Tree. He would publish a number of books throughout his lifetime, including a memoir, several works of fiction, and volumes on photographic technique. In 1969, Parks became the first African American to direct a major Hollywood movie, the film adaptation of The Learning Tree. He wrote the screenplay and composed the score for the film. Parks's next film, Shaft, was one of the biggest box office hits of 1971. Starring Richard Roundtree as Detective John Shaft, the movie inspired a genre of films known as blaxploitation. Isaac Hayes won an Academy Award for the movie's theme song. Parks also directed a 1972 sequel, Shaft's Big Score. His attempt to deviate from the Shaft series, with the 1976 Lead Belly, was unsuccessful. Following this failure, Parks continued to make films for television but did not return to Hollywood. Parks died of cancer on March 7, 2006, in New York City. He is buried in his hometown of Fort Scott, Kansas. Today, Parks is remembered for his pioneering work in the field of photography, which has been an inspiration to many. The famed photographer once said, "People in millenniums ahead will know what we were like in the 1930s and the important major things that shaped our history at that time." Gordon Parks, a visionary artist whose work transcended the realms of photography, left behind a legacy that extends far beyond mere visual documentation. One of the most profound lessons he imparts is the significance of documenting history. His lens captured the tumultuous times marked by segregation, racism, and injustice, serving as a powerful medium to expose the harsh realities of society. In doing so, Parks not only preserved the past but also confronted the collective conscience with the uncomfortable truths that demanded acknowledgement and change. Yet, his body of work extends beyond the confines of historical documentation. Parks encourages us not to put ourselves in a box creatively. His portfolio spans diverse genres, from street photography to documentary and fashion. The lesson here is clear: artistic expression knows no boundaries. By embracing a multitude of styles and subjects, Parks demonstrated the richness that comes from exploring the vast spectrum of visual storytelling. His ability to seamlessly transition between genres challenges us to resist the limitations of self-imposed boxes and labels, encouraging a boundless exploration of our artistic potential. Parks was a master of environmental portraiture, showcasing that the subject is not the sole figure or central theme in your image. Instead, he skillfully incorporated surroundings to provide context and depth. This approach prompts us to consider the environment as an integral part of the narrative, enriching the storytelling experience by connecting the subject with its surroundings. Through this, Parks invites us to think beyond the individual and embrace the broader context in which our subjects exist. Another valuable lesson from Parks is the art of restraint in composition. He advises against cluttering photographs with excessive elements, opting instead to hide certain aspects, leaving the viewer with a lingering question: what am I looking at? This deliberate ambiguity engages the audience, inviting them to participate actively in deciphering the narrative. Parks teaches us that simplicity can be a powerful tool, allowing the viewer to focus on the essence of the image without unnecessary distractions. Parks, the quintessential polymath, exemplifies the importance of versatility in one's artistic endeavors. Not confined to the role of a photographer, he ventured into realms of composition, filmmaking, and poetry. Parks encourages us to break free from the constraints of specialization and embrace a holistic approach to art. By diversifying our creative pursuits, we can find inspiration in unexpected places, enriching our work with a multifaceted perspective. Lastly, Parks emphasizes the notion of exploring what's within reach. He advocates for delving into local communities, attending fairs, parades, and cultural events. Parks reminds us that extraordinary moments unfold in the most ordinary settings. By immersing ourselves in the familiar, we uncover unique narratives waiting to be captured. There's no need to traverse the globe in search of exotic locations when the richness of human experience is readily available in our own backyards. In essence, Gordon Parks invites us to view the world through a dynamic, open-minded lens. His teachings extend beyond the technicalities of photography, urging us to be storytellers, activists, and artists who use our craft to document history, challenge preconceptions, and celebrate the diverse tapestry of life within arm's reach. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. This way, you'll always stay up to date with all the videos I produce here. Until the next one. See you later.